What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm doing a Facebook Live. What's wrong? Hello. Sorry, I'm just sat here with Trey Shaw. He's behind the camera. He saw that I was going a bit weird. It's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Yes, oh gosh, today has been so super, super, super awesome. I've had some amazing podcast interviews today, which have been absolutely mind blowing. Nazia, I'm going to tag you in here. So I want you to go over and look at Nazia's profile. She's a phenomenal, phenomenal artist that was actually, and that talent of hers was actually birthed after overcoming many, many challenges. And during our interview, it was absolutely invigorating to the point, like I experienced all of my emotions listening to Nazia's story. So inspiring, so compelling, so authentic. It was really, really beautiful to hear, and I really can't wait to get them out. So we're in the process of interviewing, editing, and all the rest of it. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone that's actually jumping on the podcast. I've never done anything like this before. I don't even subscribe to podcasts, not as yet anyway. I'm going to, because it's a super cool platform that I really urge you to get on to actually share your message. And it's just such an honor to connect with so many amazing people, hearing their stories, hearing their levels of expertise in all kinds of fields. So it's a real learning curve for myself, and I know that when it goes out, it's going to touch the hearts of so many across the globe. So we're really glad we're able to assist them to get their message out. So just a couple of questions, like, how are you feeling it out? I know that some people we know are really tired, and for you, I just want to say, don't keep pushing. The truth is, like, why, according to who's saying that you have to keep pushing, you have to keep creating? For some people, they've kind of eased into this essence and flow of creativity, and that's okay. But for you, don't be, how can I say, somewhat bullied or pressured into everyone else is being creative, I have to. Because here's the thing, what if you live a very busy life and this is the one time you've had to absolutely do nothing? That's the gift, right? So it's no point utilizing this time to burn yourself flat out, keep going, keep pushing, keep showing up just for the sake of it. Because guess what? When we go back, you're going to go into the same cycle. So when will you have your downtime? So one of the things that I always talk to people about is, like, what's your season? And this is part of why I enjoyed speaking to Nazia today, is that when you learn to accept yourself, you're not looking for external validation anymore. And it's that level of acceptance that really gifts you back your life. So what, again, I ask you, what is your season? You see, some people's harvest is the other person's time to turn the soil. Sometimes some people's spring is their time for hibernation and going inwards and grounding. And I think one of the worst things we can do is overlap. Okay, it's going out into summer wearing our winter clothes, it's going out into spring being dressed up for winter. So it's really keep questioning yourself, what is your season? So if this time at home is family time, I've spoken to some people that live very, very busy lives, and they would never had time to be with their family. They would see the family in the evening or on a weekend. So for them, this time is most precious, spent with the ones that they love most. And for some, they find it difficult being on their own because they live on their own. So it's a case that this is the time for them to connect with people all around the world and keep talking. So don't be sidetracked or distracted by seeing people create and feeling you have to. But at the same time, if you see people creating and you feel inspired by that creativity, and it feels in alignment, I think that's the key essence of the message I'm trying to get to you. It's what feels good for you. So what is your season? I say it again and again and again, like, what is your season? Only you will know when you're honest with yourself. So not because someone's doing, you need to do, but what's your season? So this will mean different things for different people, but if we don't know how long this is going to last, and just like anyone going through a midlife crisis, relationship issues, career changes, whatever it is, just say, what does it mean for you? Because it's when we least expect it, life really helps us to create the silver lining around that grey cloud. So again, what is your season? And the key point here is your season, not according to Paul, not according to Lisa. Don't be distracted by trying to mirror and match what everyone's doing and feeling the fear of being left behind because things are moving so quickly. Slow down. What is your season? Make sense? Just to give you a personal story, when I became a mother, that was kind of my first experience of ever being around family consistently. So I was raised by my mother in a single parent household. So raising kids for me was very much a first for that level of interaction on a very large scale, because I've got 5 children. So I was learning everything fresh, like to the extent that if my kids ever argued, I was like, oh my God, why are they arguing? Like, and people that had siblings was like, that's just normal. You get used to it. So everything was like a wow factor for me. Everything was like, it was heightened because I didn't experience it. So it could be like that for you now, where you're seeing everyone creating content, everyone going online, and then you start fearing, oh, maybe I'm being left behind. So going back to my personal story is that when I was able to say, what's my season? What is this parenting journey going to mean for me? And that was the time, maybe about 9 years ago, 9-10 years ago, when I started to do things whereby I was swimming against the current. Literally everyone was going in one direction, I was going up a completely different direction, because I had to find out what was my season. Okay, 10 years, 9-10 years down the line, I've now realized, because I was able to trust myself and listen to my internal guidance system, my children have had somewhat a 10-year, that's a decade, right? Somewhat of a 9 to 10 year decade head start with regards to them finding out who they are, how to be self-navigating, how to lead, how to create, not only create, how to teach. So they've been able to learn key life skills. And if I was silencing what my season was, if I was silencing what my inner calling was, I wouldn't get there. So I would be up when others are sleeping, not because I saw everyone doing it, because I was just following my internal guidance system. I was going places where people weren't really thinking of going. Why? I was following my internal guidance system. And I was up against a lot of people saying, it's not right to do things this way and this isn't how it's done. But I trusted myself. So again, what is your season? During this period, please learn to trust yourself more. During this period, please allow yourself to gain the deeper sense of clarity, because the more you fine tune the relationship between you and your spirit of discernment, your intuition, your gut instincts, whatever it is for you, once you fine tune that and you know what it sounds like when it starts firing off and communicating with you, that's the difference that's going to make the difference. And when you're on that pathway, it will always lead you to the greener pasture. It will always make sense when it gets there. And when you look back, you'll start to connect the dots. So that's the final message, repeating what I started off with. What is your season? And allow yourself to navigate from the essence of connecting with your internal guidance system, because if you trust it to get you there, trust me, it will. Take good care of yourself and speak soon.